Good evening, this is News Mongolia. I'm Satang Kors in the MNB World studio. For our top stories, another daily record of 2,386 COVID-19 cases confirmed on Tuesday. No nationwide lockdown amidst COVID-19 surge. New Ulaanbaatar International Airport scheduled to open on July 4th. For other news, stay tuned. At today's press briefing, the Ministry of Health reported another daily record of 2,386 COVID-19 cases. These days, more children are testing positive for infection, which is a serious concern for the public and officials.
On Tuesday, after testing around 11,500 people, 2,386 new cases were newly confirmed. The status tally is now 80,733. The total number of recovered patients is around 57,000, around 72% of all patients. 11 deaths were reported on Tuesday, bringing the total number of fatalities to 380. Today's new cases were all domestic infections. Ulaanbaatar saw the highest number of cases with 1,675. The number of daily cases recorded in the provinces is also increasing. One of the biggest concerns these days is the rate of infection among children. Today, 608 children between the ages of 0 to 17 were confirmed for infection. Researchers believe the high number of infections among children is related to no COVID-19 vaccine being available. As of yesterday, 16 to 17-year-olds can receive the Pfizer vaccine. Authorities and experts are still discussing whether children under the age of 16 can get the vaccine. To minimize the risk of infection, parents are being advised to not bring children to public spaces such as shops, restaurants, and public events. Outdoors, it's advised that play groups be limited to 5 children or less, and a mask should be worn at all times. Families should avoid having guests at home and visiting other families with their children. The current global tally for COVID-19 cases is over 177 million, with 3.8 million fatalities.
The National Emergency Commission held a meeting yesterday and decided not to impose the strictest nationwide lockdown. Instead, preventive measures of the COVID-19 will be strictly enforced on citizens and the entities.
In early June, Mongolia experienced a daily record of COVID-19 cases that exceeded 2,000. Only in just 1 week, 10,000 cases were reported. Researchers predict that coronavirus infection will peak in the upcoming weeks and has a high chance of reaching 4,000 daily records. Amidst this alarming COVID-19 surge, whether or not to impose a strict lockdown has been in the public's concern. Through yesterday's meeting, the National Emergency Commission stated the strict state of emergency won't be enforced across the country. But citizens, communities and organizations will be demanded to follow preventive measures and will be scrutinized frequently. This year, the general entrance exam is scheduled from July 1st to 4th. Currently, there is no change in that schedule. It's planned to be organized under safety rules against COVID-19. Also, whether to organize the Mongolian National Festival in July is still under consideration. Officials say the biggest summer holiday can be even cancelled if the COVID-19 situation worsens. Lockdowns can be imposed in certain areas. At this time, 73 zones of 16 provinces have gone into lockdown.
Coronavirus causes fear and worries among the public. Those who are or have been infected by the virus confess that the social stigma and hate they experience make things harder besides the real health complication. Human rights specialists warn that privacy information of the patients must be kept confidential.
There have been many cases where COVID-19 patients were being insulted or their pictures were posted in a Facebook group and received public hate. The stigma and discrimination not only targets the patient but their family members as well. The human rights specialists note that these cases are a serious violation of human rights. One must not demand compensation from COVID-19 patients because viruses don't discriminate. Anyone can be a victim.
If one discriminates against another because of their COVID-19 infection and causes harm to their human rights and freedom, it can be treated as a criminal case and be solved by the police department. The discriminated victim can file a complaint to the National Human Rights Commission to seek protection.
The actions include insulting COVID-19, disclosing patients' information, blaming them, and can be regarded as criminal acts violating human rights. As of today, the National Human Rights Commission hasn't yet received any complaints related to COVID-19 discrimination. The organization reminds the public that if one becomes a victim and faces stigmatization, they can freely contact a human rights organization or police department to solve their issue.
Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Thank you for staying with us on MNB World. Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs.
After 8 years of construction, with repeated postponement, the new Ulaanbaatar International Airport is scheduled to open on July the 4th. The new airport is located 52 kilometers south of Ulaanbaatar in Khushukht Valley, Tuv province. It is designed with the capacity to serve up to 3 million passengers per year. The airport can be expanded in the future to accommodate up 12 million passengers. It has 2 runways, unlike Boyuntua International Airport, formerly named Chinggis Khan International Airport, which only has 1 short runway that manages arrivals coming from one direction and departures leaving from the other. The operations of Boyuntua International Airport will be moved to the new Ulaanbaatar International Airport in June. Prior to the airport's opening, test flights will be conducted. Prime Minister Oyunerd noted that the area around the new airport can be developed as a free economic zone that can create a high number of jobs in trade and logistics. He emphasized that putting the new airport into economic circulation is crucial at this time. Mongolian baritone Amidst takes the leading role of the King of Babylon in the opera Nabucco at the Vienna State Opera in November. The Vienna State Opera, one of the world's leading opera houses, has announced its program for the 2021 and 2022 season. For the new season, the company has scheduled around 60 operas and performances starting in September 2021. In November, the company will present the Italian composer Giuseppe Verdi's masterpiece Nabucco. The principal role of Nabucco, King of Babylon, will be played by Mongolian state-honored artist baritone Amidst. He will perform the role of Nabucco 3 times in November. Verdi's opera is about the destruction of Jerusalem by the Babylon king Nabucco and the deportation of the Jews into exile in Babylon in the 6th century BC. As an opera singer, Amidst has taken part in many international singing competitions. He became a state-honored artist of Mongolia at the age of 24. Amidst has already performed at prestigious theaters in Italy, France, Russia, and Germany. In November, the role of Nabucco will also be performed by prominent opera singer Placido Domingo.
Every year on June 14th, World Blood Donor Day is observed. This year, the National Center for Blood Transfusion and Research honored 113 donors who gave blood during the pandemic. 21-year-old Myagmur Dorch became an honored donor on World Blood Donor Day. He donated blood 37 times and is the youngest honored donor in Mongolia. Myagmur Dorch has been donating blood for 4 years, saving more than 100 lives.
I started donating blood in 2017. My mother is also an honored donor. My mother suggested that I become a donor, and I followed her advice. It's been 4 years since then. I've felt the benefits of donating blood. It gave me the right rhythm in life.
In Mongolia, around 1,000 donors regularly give blood to save lives. During the pandemic, the National Blood Center faced the risk of a blood supply shortage. Thanks to donors, things are going smoothly. Honored donors say that the regular blood donations not only save lives, but that donating also has health benefits. There is a misconception that people will become anemic and faint after donating blood, but that's not true. I want to say that if you are healthy, just gain some new perspective and try to save at least one life.
Сэтгэлийнхээ эрүүл мэндэд жаахан гэгээлэг шинжилэлт хийгээд өнөөдөр нэг хүний амийг ч гэсэн авраарай гэж уриалмаар байна.
Donating blood regularly has no negative side effects. On the contrary, new blood is created, which leads to better health. It strengthens the immune system.
On World Blood Donor Day, organizations were also honored. The General Staff of the Armed Forces and GCI Mongolia received donor honors as a team. Mongolian National Broadcaster received the title of Best Donor Promoting Media. Here is the weather forecast for the world's major cities. This is it for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.